I am literally shocked at the way my colleagues are behaving and what they are saying on this floor. The reason why I'm shocked is because somehow I happen to be advantaged because I've been around this system for the last 25 years. I have been around politicking, taking vehicles to Kabarak to go and see President Moi and beg him to give me a handout so that I could run for elections. I have seen what happened in 2007 when we came to this house and I saw the hate, the vitriol, the anger. What were we fighting about? An election which had been lost, and of course we were on the other side which lost, quote unquote, and we stood here and said how we wished anybody who was on the other side should have been dead. I have watched the coalition government work, and then it failed. In this republic, I have seen President Uhuru come into power and his elections are nullified, and I've seen how he handled it. And I have seen how President William Ruto becomes president. So I hope my colleagues will give me an opportunity to lay out my case. This election of Prime Minister Raila to the AUC, indeed it was about our country. This election was not really about Raila per se. And I've seen some people say, oh, this election was about President William Ruto, and if he's a bad president, therefore our candidate wouldn't win. No, I take a different approach. The reality is we went in to hunt. I am saying I don't think we were prepared to hunt well and kill the elephant. My argument is we have a country where we are constantly looking for options and solutions away from the reality of what we are dealing with. I have heard my colleagues say that there were people celebrating that in fact Raila lost. Yes, they celebrated because they are fearful. They want Raila to come back because the country looks unstable and it's not ready to move on. That is where we are, Honorable Cherargei. This is not about tribes ganging up against bigger tribes and smaller tribes ganging against smaller ones. This is a state called Kenya, which is dysfunctional, where we have refused to accept the basic tenets. We have said, Honorable, my majority leader, you know I respect and love you as my brother. Thank you. I hope one day I'll join government and be with you. But I intend to remain in the opposition to keep some of you sober and sane. This process, because of the training I got when I was a minister in the government of President Kibaki, is a process which is handled quietly, efficiently, and successfully. When you are going for these positions, you must be able to look at the sensitivities and the issues in all these geopolitical issues of Africa. And yet, what have we done? We have localized this whole thing as if it's about Raila, who wanted to be something, and William Ruto, who wants to survive. Indeed, if that is the case, if Raila wanted the job and felt he would lose and come back here so that he joins President William Ruto's government, and therefore Kenya will become stable, my position is very simple. So long as you continue doing things the way you are doing them, the country will not be stable. When we were talking about what are the issues in Sudan, look at what you're having at KICC today. One group is at KICC parading themselves, and you are insensitive to the issues that we are supposed to be the arbiters of two people who are fighting on the African continent. When we are talking about Congo, the reality, my brother Cherargei, is that we have a region which is affected by illegal mineral mining, by countries that are feeling incredibly insecure. You have Western powers who have an interest in managing what is happening in Congo. And the reality is we just laugh at it. So when M23 are coming to Nairobi to come and have a meeting here with our president, the simple fact that they came here put everybody onto suspicion mode.
Just a minute, Senator Onyonka. There is a point of order from Senator Mandago.
Honorable Speaker, I've heard Senator Onyonka say M23 are coming to Nairobi. I don't know whether it's confusing.
I said when they came. I said when they came. I know you don't know. When they came, M23 came to Nairobi, met our president, they launched themselves here. What did you expect President Kagame to do? What did you expect him to do? When information is coming out that all these groups are meeting around Nairobi and we are not careful.
There is a point of order still from
I was just wondering whether
Senator Mandago.
the operations of Parliament have changed. Can Senator Onyonka provide evidence that M23 indeed came to Nairobi, met the president, and launched themselves here? I think it's a dangerous statement to be allowed to go on record without evidence.
Substantiate. What question are you asking me? That? Mr. My Chair Health, what I said was this. Anytime when you have these groups that are fighting in the East African region, and one of them appears to be Nairobi, what it happens is it creates a destabilization which sometimes is imaginary. And yet the expectation is just like South Sudan. When the earlier group, or when the first group that was against the government came to Nairobi and they met.
Onyonka, let me give you some direction.
Yes.
Since there is that point of order which you have not, we have not cleared, that it needs an evidence to show that M23 came to Kenya, met the president and launched themselves.
What I said.
Maybe if you don't have that evidence, when are you ready to provide the evidence?
Mr. Speaker, what I said is that the M23 made contact, and indeed, the president of Kenya's responsibility was for him to start negotiating with them and the Rwandese government. What I am saying is, those discussions as they started.
Did you say that they came to Nairobi?
I said yes.
And met the president?
Yeah, no, I said they came, yes.
No. No, I don't need any direction from the members.
Say what you're saying.
That is why I'm here. I'm listening
why,
to the members.
I don't know why you don't want me to talk. Mr. Speaker, let me make it easy for you. I withdraw.
Okay, fine.
And apologize for my majority. Can I proceed?
Proceed?
So let me say, so that you don't waste my time, let me say what I'm saying. We, as a leadership, must understand that whatever that was happening is not removed from our reality. Just as you're planning to organize so that Prime Minister Raila can then go for his election at AU, what do? You allow individuals to pick Besigye and they abduct him and take him to Uganda. Internationally, Honorable Cherargei, you know that looks bad. Then when you are busy talking about South Africa, I know some of us may not understand that the South African government, having gone to Congo, the responsibility and the role they have played in Congo and all the issues that have been engaged must be handled so carefully. But what do? And I said it on public. We then decide we are going to support Israel because the Israelis are our friends for years and years and years, and we make that announcement disregarding the sensitivities of what is happening in Gaza. Then we take that same narrative as we are having issues.
Senator Onyonka, there's another point of order from the majority leader.
You see, Mr. Speaker, I'm really sorry to Senator Onyonka because it's not my intention to disrupt him. But he's inviting this upon himself by claiming matters that are not factual, which leaves us with no other option than to interrupt him and ask him to check his records. I know for a fact that not once, twice, or thrice, that Kenya has made its position clear on the Palestine-Gaza dispute, that they believe in the two-state solution. We have never come out clear to say that we support any of the parties. Therefore, it is not right for Senator Onyonka to mislead the House.
Mr. Speaker,
that we have identified with Israel to the exclusion of the Palestinians. That's not accurate.
Mr. Speaker, could I maybe use a
No,
different,
Senator
maybe
Onyonka.
let me use a different angle to
when
make.
there is a member executing a point of order, you go back to a seat, you sit and wait.
Mr.
So you
Speaker,
don't-
I feel like you're trying to harass me so much. I am saying,
that is the
I am
rules
saying,
of the House. When there is a member.
Speaker,
on a
I
point
know
of
the
order,
rules, but you
sit
see, if I keep going that way, it's a bit
No, there's
tiring.
a seat just next to.
All right.
But-
And I've got his point, which I can
You
answer.
should not take advantage of the mic to just exchange with the member who has a point of order. That is
Much
not
obliged. I would most probably answer him and say, let's leave the Israeli question. Can we talk about the rapid deployment force that is in Nairobi? You can legitimize, you can argue about it. So you are comfortable the RDF is in Nairobi. And the other Sudanese party is in Sudan, and they have written an official letter today where they are saying that you have actually violated their very essence, existence as a state. That is how, so you've been,
Majority
you see,
leader,
Mr. Speaker,
majority
you
leader.
see, your colleagues are now
Members,
answering me across
members,
because they don't want me to make my
Stop
arguments.
exchanging with the member on the floor.
Let me just finish my debate.
No. And also Senator Onyonka, just talk to the speaker, not to the member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to say that I see here today my colleagues celebrating and talking about how Raila is the greatest man who was. How I wish we listened to what they are saying 3 years ago. How Raila was a mganga, how he was somebody who was completely useless to our political dispensation. Where, by the way, why have you never gotten rid of him?